Okay, so welcome back. I know it's been a minute since we've seen each other, but just to go over just a few reminders, what we say in this room stays in this room. It is confidential. Just to let you know, if you do talk about harming yourself or harming others, then I will have to let others know. But other than that, what we say between us is confidential. So with that out the way, like I said, it's been a minute since we've seen each other and have spoken. Is there anything you want to just talk about? Is there anything that's happened to you in the past couple of weeks, good or bad, that you want to share?
So let's see. So like my stress at school hasn't really been bad. I've finally reached that point in the semester where I can balance my job as an RA and my classes pretty well, but like being so busy before in the early semester kind of distracted me from like all like the emotional stuff that I had in my life. So I feel now as though like I'm not as stressed as I was in the beginning, so I have time to like think about like my ex-boyfriend and like all these other things that just didn't matter to me a couple months ago.
Okay.
And then my dad recently moved to Ohio like 2 weeks ago, right before like the weekend before Thanksgiving. He moved out there, so I had to spend Thanksgiving with my mom, who I do not get along with. So when he left, I was kind of like really sad. So I just like would go out and like be reckless and not really care what I was doing, because I was just like I was coping in like all the wrong ways, you know? And I wasn't really thinking about like my own like well-being. I was thinking more of like, how do I like not feel sad or lonely? Because like for me, my dad's always been like my best friend and like my person. So like I tell him everything. Like we've lived together for 2 years and then he moves away. So then that made me like miss my ex-boyfriend, because like because my dad would work weekends out of town, so I'd stay with my ex-boyfriend, and then I moved in with my ex-boyfriend for like 6 months. So it was like I always had someone in my life. So now it's like I feel like I have my stuff together academically and with my job, but I feel like empty in the sense of like I don't have my like positive male figure like at my disposal, you know? And it just sucks because I don't want to be in a relationship with someone I don't know that well, but I can't go back with my ex-boyfriend because I like blocked him and just like took him out of my life. So I feel like conflicted because like I don't know if maybe I just need to like pick up a new hobby or like get back into dating. Like I don't know what I need to do. Besides focus on myself, which I haven't been doing at all for the last month. This last month has just been recklessness. Like I literally even ended up in the hospital because I just wasn't sleeping, wasn't eating. Like I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping. Like I was just like, I would go out weekends and just like do reckless things, and like it caught up to me. And then now I'm like reflecting on all that like crap.
Oh, okay. So
That's a lot.
No, it's good that you're sharing. So, back to as far as you were saying, because you were busy in the semester, you wasn't really focusing on the emotions and stuff you were feeling. Were you always feeling that, or you were just trying to fill that void in with feeling busy, or it just now kind of really surfaced up?
Well, I think my dad moving away triggered it because I always had my dad for anything. Like my dad and my stepmom would take me on their dates with them so that I wasn't lonely. Because they knew how much I loved my ex-boyfriend and like how much of an impact he was in my life, and that he wasn't in it anymore. So they would like kind of see that I was lonely and wouldn't go out and wouldn't talk to guys. So they would try to like get me to like, you know, still enjoy like going out and stuff. And yeah, I think that kind of like opened up like that whole can of worms. Like, wow, like you're really alone. Yeah.
So, is it important for you, as far as the emotional, to have like some type of like physical like bond? And what I mean is like being around the person more. So like you and your dad were close, and when he moved away, that's when you really started to feel those feelings of being sad and alone. Did you try to reach out? You still talk to your dad since he's moved?
Yeah, I mean, my dad moved like move in with like my stepmom and stuff, and I love my stepmom, and she was there for me throughout my whole relationship, and the good, the bad, the ugly. She was like always there for me. So I was happy. Like the thing that was funny was I was the one who was pushing my dad to move since like last year, because he had a better job opportunity. It was just like a new thing, like, and I literally told him like, you have to go, because he wasn't like his job was like at a like slow pace here, where he wasn't making as much as he should be, because like it's such a small market here. So my stepmom's brothers have like a bunch of companies and have like leasing deals with like all these like big places, so he can like, you know, make a lot more and work a lot less. So I was like, you know, pushing him to go, and then I didn't cry until the day he actually left, and like I was crying so much, and I was like, why am I crying? Like it was so crazy, because like I guess I'm good at suppressing my emotions, but then when it all catches up to me, it's like horrible. Yeah.
Which makes sense, and that's like a normal type of feeling.
I bottle up everything, I think.
Which is normal to do. And it seems like you were kind of conflicting, your emotions, because it seemed like you really wanted to be there for your dad. You were happy for him. He was getting opportunities. But at the same time, it's like, man, I'm not going to have my dad around like I normally have. You know, I'm going to start feeling his feelings of being alone, which went into your ex-boyfriend. And you said you just missing that male. Is it really just missing that male figure, or just having company, period?
I think it's just having company. My friends, like I've been avoiding my closest friends because I just feel like they don't understand me. I don't know, like it's weird. It's like when my dad left, I just blocked out everybody. Like my friends always like, hey, are you doing okay? Like, should I come visit you? And I'm like, no, like I want to be alone. Like that's my thing right now. Like I'm alone. Like I'm alone all the time. Like I'm in my room. I leave my door open for my residents because they're like I'm obligated to see. But like other than that, like I really don't want to talk to anybody, and I just want to be alone. And I don't understand why, because that's not me. Like I'm a social person. Yeah.
So these emotions that you're feeling, you're not sure really how to deal with it, and the only way you're dealing with it is something that you really don't want to do. Is shutting yourself out from people. And like I said, the whole thing with the ex-boyfriend, is that making it worse? Because now you're missing him, or you're just missing that fact that somebody knew you so well and knew how to like really deal with you, even in your probably emotional states that nobody else knows how to. Is that kind of...
Yeah, because for me, like my boyfriend kind of did act like my dad. You know how they tell you like get a boyfriend that reminds you of your father, but like so like he would like be like, don't do this, that's bad, don't do this. And I don't need someone telling me don't do this, but it was just nice having someone like checking up on me and stuff. But now it's like, you know, it's like I can't call my dad. He's 10 hours away. I can't call my ex-boyfriend because we're not together and we're not talking. So it's hard because I don't want to run back to my ex-boyfriend just because you know what I mean? Because that's not fair to either of us. And no, it's not fair.
So you're saying that really the reason, if let's say hypothetically, if you were to get in contact with him, it's just to fill, I know if you were, it's just to fill in a temporary void. It has nothing to actually do with maybe you trying to reconcile with him, not to get in a relationship, but maybe just to have just a even kill, like just, you know, to be cordial.
I tried to be friends with him, but I love him, so I can't be friends with him because it just doesn't work, because we both somehow end up back where we were. Like we'll say we're friends, like we did this thing where we were just friends, we were fine, we weren't like okay, we were just friends. But then eventually like we started like doing couple things again, and I was like, we can't do this, like we can't, like it's bad for both of us. So we're just not okay together. So I just ghosted him on everything a couple weeks ago and just didn't talk to him. I don't know how he's doing. I kind of want to know how he's doing, but I don't know.
And it takes time. It's something that, you know, you can't put a time on, you know, your feelings and how long you're going to be feeling that. But again, with your friends, I know you said with the reckless behavior is another thing that you tend to get into. Do you discuss with your friends? You doing this with your friends, or?
Yeah, with my friends. well, not my closest friend. My closest, yeah. I mean, yeah. I go out with my closest friends, and they're like, you know, it's fun and all, but like, I just take it to the next level. And they're like, why? Like, why are you doing all these bad things? Like, they're bad for you. Like, stop. Like, don't do that. Yeah. I mean, they're like, oh, cheer up. Let's go out. Let's do this. And we go out. I'm just like, what's gonna get me the most messed up where I don't have to think about like my problems, and that's what I do. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So it seems like it's been like a lot of really emotion. I'm kind of picking up a lot that's causing.
When you're ready, please go ahead and provide a summary and end your session.
With these behaviors and different things like that, which is understandable because you're going through an emotional period. As far as goals is concerned, what is like your priority that you want right now? Do you want to get back to yourself? Do you want to just get to a point where you're not feeling these type of emotions anymore? Like, what is your main priority that for right now that you want?
For right now, what I like told everyone who's like checking up on me is like, I just want to be my own happiness and to for myself to be enough. You know what I mean? Like, for me to be enough for myself. Like, I don't want to have to like have a guy in my life or have like this kind of like thing with someone just because like I need it right now. Like, I want to find a way to like be alone because I've never really been alone. Like, my last relationship before this one was 3 years, and I always had my boyfriend there, and it was always like that. Like, I always have long-term relationships. So like, this was actually my shortest one, which was like 2.5 years. So I feel like I don't know how to be alone, and I think that's my problem, and that's what I want to work on. I want to work on like my own personal happiness with myself.
Okay, which is really good, and that's really the key right there. The only thing that I would suggest as far as goals, maybe I would say at maybe like 1 to 3 times a week, if you can, just maybe write to yourself 1, things you like to do, and 2, just an encouragement, something that you really like about yourself, and 3, think of an activity that you can do alone. I myself, I love to do things alone. It brings me peace. But maybe it's going to the movies by yourself. It could be something just as small. Maybe
please take a moment and provide feedback to the helper.
Maybe it's like, I don't know, some people like skating, some people like boating, something that it's not like it would make you a little bit uncomfortable. You see what I'm saying? That maybe like a lot of people are around, but try it out and see, and then give it a like maybe once a week. Try to do something by yourself, and see how that works out for you for the next weeks and stuff. And don't include anybody. It's just you and whatever you're doing. I think it should be fine. And kind of see how that works.
Thank you.